to this world peace meditation. Let's sit for a brief moment in stillness and silence. For a moment of stillness is an anchor of peace for all of us, for all humankind, and for you. And as we anchor ourselves in stillness, we are uniting with a peace that has always been here, only waiting for our recognition. And during a moment of war and conflict, it is precisely this peace that we lose sight of. Allow stillness to be your companion. Allow stillness to be your friend. Allow stillness to be the safety you have always needed. The more you are willing to be still with yourself for any period of time, the more safety is anchored for all hearts. And so each time you choose to be still with yourself is a moment where we are decreasing the likelihood of any further war or bloodshed. And as a way of anchoring stillness, please say these words out loud with me. I anchor peace now. 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 Love has won. Love has won. Love has won. I anchor peace now. Love has won. I anchor peace now. Love has won. Stillness doesn't have to be our enemy. And the truth is that once we start entering the stillness of safety, it can feel like boredom and apathy. But all that is happening is that we are not lost in the phenomena of the world, but we are anchoring ourselves in the stillness underneath it. And as you anchor yourself in the stillness underneath all phenomena, those phenomena receive the permission to become far more peaceful. But first, you have to allow yourself to die into peace, to fall into peace, to fall apart into peace. And if it feels uncomfortable to sit still, so be it. If it feels uncomfortable to not get swayed by the dance of an unraveling world, so be it. Because what other option do we have? When there is war and when there is a threat of a global conflict, stillness and peace are the only options. And we will get to them eventually. The question is, how much bloodshed do we eventually need as a humanity, as a species, to start prioritizing peace on a daily basis? And so if you want to anchor peace and well-being for all, make peace with stillness now. So no more conflict is necessary to get us into alignment with peace through polarity. Move into alignment with stillness now. Don't wait for endless conflict and war to take away every other option. Choose stillness now. And once stillness is not an enemy, there will equally not be an enemy on the outside. Because in truth, every enemy that we have is imagined. Each time we have an enemy, whether it's a conflict between family members, colleagues, or countries, the enemy that we have is simply a projection of the enemy we have made out of stillness. And when stillness is no longer an enemy, the perception of enemy on the outside within others dissolves. Stillness is the safety that we seek. Stillness is the safety that we all need. Stillness is the peace beyond an agreement or disagreement. You don't have to agree with anyone on anything. And yet stillness will anchor you in the safety that you have always needed. And when two people disagree, it's usually just a symptom of them feeling unsafe. And so why don't we anchor our own safety by being still? And you can say this as a healing mantra. Stillness is the safety that I need. Stillness is the safety that I need. And because we are all connected as one, as you say that to your own heart, you are speaking equally to all hearts. And the vibration of peace and stillness is spread throughout this world. Stillness is the safety that I need. And as you say that to yourself, every person in a war scenario receives that through you. And I encourage you to say this mantra on a daily basis, perhaps several times a day. Stillness is the safety that I need. And the more people get familiar and anchored with stillness, the more we move into a timeline where there is no longer a need for a global conflict. And I'm simply here with you because I cannot simply sit and be helpless about the things that are happening in the world. What is going on in the world is heartbreaking. It's devastating. And we are only going to feel helpless as long as we refuse to do anything about it. And making peace with stillness. Because through the interconnectedness of all, it goes to everyone in existence. We are doing something about it. Anchoring stillness, which brings about the energetic resolution for conflict. Choosing a different timeline. And in the name of world peace, in the name of love, and in the name of light, please say these words please repeat these words after me. As the light of consciousness that I am, I command into my reality evidence of safety, evidence of peace, evidence of love, evidence of harmony, where in the heavenly realms, where my soul always dwells, stillness, peace, love, and harmony are felt in every breath. And as of now, I am ready to remember this truth while anchoring the same heavenly qualities into form, where stillness, peace, and safety don't simply have to be transcendent heavenly realizations, but they can be manifestations that are seen in the world of form. And so may I anchor peace as the heaven that I am. May I anchor love as the heaven that I am. May I anchor safety as the heaven that I am. May I anchor clarity as the heaven that I am. May I anchor truth as the heaven that I am. May I anchor healing as the heaven that I am. May I anchor freedom for all beings as the heaven that I am. May I anchor abundance as the heaven that I am. May I anchor sovereignty as the heaven that I am. And may all of those creations be revealed rather sooner than later, co-creating with the universe and entering a planet that no longer tolerates war, deception, or conflict. I acknowledge that world peace has hereby been anchored. And I recognize this healing and activation as complete. And if I fail to find evidence of this energetic shift, may I simply tune into how I feel in response to any sight in view. And may any sensation within my body be simply an invitation to anchor more peace. And so this planet is free. Can you feel the stillness? Can you feel the stopping? Because this energy, this type of invocation stops everything in its tracks. Any agenda is gone. And one of the things that happen during a time of a global conflict, tragedy, is that we have the opportunity to step beyond ourselves. Whereas because everything is an agent of divinity, even global conflicts serve the awakening and healing process on a global level. And one of the ways it helps us is that it helps us get over our own perception of self-absorption and the movement out of self-absorption into harmony with all is simply the transition from what about me to what about us. Whether you are not excluded in the us, but others are equally included. When it's all what about me, we are excluding the needs of others. When we are invoking the what about us, we are making sure that there is no man, woman, or child left behind. And so I invite you, in the name of love, harmony, and peace, to move into a reality of what about us. And we can even say, thank you, divinity, for creating these scenarios on a collective level, so I can wake the F up and then to go from what about me to what about us. What about us as a whole? What about us as a collective? What about us as a species? What about us as a cosmic family? What about us as all of my cosmic brothers and sisters? What about us as a global community? No longer what about me. Simply what about us? What about us? And the answer to that question is in our question. We answer questions with questions. That's how spirituality works. The answer to what about us is how can we work together for the collective fulfillment of all of our needs? How can we meet our needs together? And through the authentic act of authentically, through a pure desire to meet someone else's needs, you will find needs fulfillment within yourself. Because we are all connected as one. And the meeting of needs of one person is the meeting of needs of another. Equally, we can flip this and we can say, me communicating about what I need. Honestly and vulnerably give someone else the chance and opportunity to feel empowered so they can remember their own power by being someone who can help me, by being someone who can assist me. And we live in a society that places too much emphasis, I would say, who misplaces too much value on independence. But love is about interdependence. It's not about codependency, because codependency is an act of disowning our own needs. But if we own our own needs fully and then express them in a vulnerable way, we will all be healed. And only those whose needs have been severely neglected could ever consider going into a wartime scenario. Because the lack of needs fulfillment, the refusal to meet our own needs, is a worldwide epidemic. And we have a world of people who don't know how to meet their own needs. And when people don't know how to meet their own needs for a long enough period of time, they will get desperate. And through that desperation, they will join whatever cause, group, or conflict that promises them needs fulfillment, while painting an enemy outside of them as that which is to be blamed for their lack of needs fulfillment. But the only reason why anyone's needs are not met is the refusal to express them vulnerably and directly. Even when you are in the presence of someone who cannot meet your needs, when you express your needs vulnerably and directly nonetheless, they will give you the space so you can now meet them. And so we don't insist that our needs must be met by others. That's just more codependency. But we invite others for it to be an option. And when they can't, we say thank you, and we simply commit to meeting them ourselves. Others can meet your needs. They don't have to. But it actually makes it that much sweeter when they choose to do so. Because when people are meeting your needs, have you ever felt this? I felt this many times. When people are choosing to be there for you out of a sense of obligation. And that sucks for everyone. It's such a common argument between couples or within couples. Where one partner says, well, I want you to be there for me. And the other partner says, okay, what do you want me to do? And the first partner says, well, but it needs to come from you. It needs to be authentic. Exactly. We don't say, you have to meet my needs. We simply say, I give you the option. And you can say no. And then I will meet my own needs. That is the movement of well-being. And one of the basic conditions for a lasting world peace. Our ability to meet our own needs authentically. And so just be authentic. And you can always say, okay, this is what I want, this is what I need. You don't have to, but you can. I'm giving you the option. I'm giving you the option to decide whatever you feel like is right for you. And if you feel like it's right for you to be here for me, I am inviting you to do so. If you feel like what's right for you is not should be here for me, I'll be okay. there might be disappointment within you, but the sense of disappointment within a human being is a redirection and turning back towards yourself. And so in our journey of returning home to ourselves, disappointment is a grace. Disappointment is a path of sovereignty, where it's not wrong to be disappointed by others. And you don't have to like it, but we don't have to avoid it at all cost. And when we feel disappointed, we don't have to pretend like we have failed. Because nothing within your experience is ever wrong. It is simply an invitation to consider, what is this moment asking of me? And through the question of what is this moment asking of me, you are destined to start fulfilling the highest potential of this moment, which always leads to the greatest fulfillment somewhere down the road. And so if people are going to leave your life because they are unable to meet your needs or meet you where you want to be met, what if you just allow that to be okay? What if you could just allow that to be okay? May there be peace in every heart. For every heart yearns to express its most authentic and vulnerable desires. And the more we do that ourselves, the more peace will reign supreme on this planet. And make no mistake, there will be peace in this world, one way or another. The divine plan is clear. We are simply choosing the route through which we get there on this journey of planetary ascension. And so you can cast your vote for which timeline we choose as a species by anchoring peace on a daily basis. I'm just gonna have a look at the chat for a sec. Kelly G says, afraid of being totally isolated. If people leave or I leave them, this is a real fear of mine, especially living remotely. Well, I would say that the sense of isolation is only a sensation of being divided and separate from the deepest vulnerability of your own emotional needs. And so if you can't find anyone on the outside who would hear you out or meet your needs, I would get into the habit of meeting those needs yourself. And it can be a very simple inquiry on a daily basis, where you ask yourself, what do I need on a daily basis? And we can be very skilled at predicting and sensing what other people need. But what we need to do as sensitive being and empaths, to actually take that skill that we have, the attunement towards others, and aim it at ourselves. Because you are someone who is able to be attuned to other people and can feel that within you. But you don't have the habit of using that attunement towards yourself. And so if you want to overcome the fear of isolation, simply aim your relational attunement onto yourself with the question of, what do I need? And even better, you can make it filled with love. And you simply ask, what do you need, beloved? How can I be here for you? How can I serve you? How can I be better for you? How can I love you better? How can I make you more loved and appreciated every single day? And the more you become your own source of love and appreciation, the less terrifying it will be when others withhold or are unable to provide the appreciation or love themselves. And so by being here for yourself, you are liberating yourself from depending on those who are for the most part ill-equipped to meet your own needs. And isn't that a perfect metaphor for how we grew up as children in our families, where we were placed into a family that doesn't know or is simply not able to fully meet our needs. But as children, we are dependent. And so we are dependent on the needs fulfillment by those who don't know how to be there for us. But we don't have to continue that cycle. And you can liberate yourself now. You are well welcome. Another way of looking at global conflict is that it's like inner children pretending to be adults. Because only a childlike mentality is going to, a wounded childlike mentality, let's say, is going to consider violence as the solution. And so what we have is a world of people who are really children on the inside emotionally, pretending to be adults. When you don't look at it through the lens of all the pain and suffering that can be created, it can actually be rather hilarious. It's just unfortunate that those children running around have access to weapons and political power and economic power. But it's really a bunch of 3-year-olds running around shooting stuff with their BB guns, who haven't been properly prepared for the role that they would be playing in a peaceful, harmonious society. And so the question becomes, how can we prepare ourselves better to be the ones we were born to be? How can we support each other to such a degree that all the childlike tendencies within us are outgrown and healed? And it's no longer a child running around pretending to be an adult, but it is actually an inner child that has grown up and fully integrated into the adult that you are. Because the inner child doesn't stay a child forever. It actually grows up. through our journey of maturation, through our journey of maturing every emotion, through our journey of loving ourselves, through our journey of taking care of ourselves. And the more we allow ourselves to grow up through love, the more we will step into the maturity of our soul. Maybe, I never know how to pronounce this properly. Maybe Honoponopono? I'm not sure how to. I could work in relation to this topic, world peace. Yes, please. Use whatever modality or prayer or whatever exercise, practice that you feel called towards. Because this is about authenticity and what is right for you. I'm simply here for all of us to create the invitation and to offer some suggestion. But the basic premise is that whatever you say to yourself, whatever you say to out heart, whatever you say out heart, you are saying to every heart. You are saying to every person on this planet. And so that's why leading with statements such as, I see you, I love you, you're safe now, the war is over, peace is here. Statements like these can be very helpful. And what you want to look at is simply what each statement is creating in your body. What emotional sensation is being anchored within you. With the knowing that whatever sensation is being anchored within you is simultaneously being anchored within all. Because our body is a microcosm of the collective. And so we anchor peace within ourselves. As a microcosm of we are anchoring within the collective. Now, I didn't necessarily set out how long this meditation was going to be. Because I am sitting here and doing this not just for everyone who's watching this, but I'm also doing this for my own sake. So I don't have to feel helpless. And if I'm being honest, I feel like I need to do more. And so I invite everyone who's willing, whether you are watching this live or on a replay, let us simply anchor more stillness for the world right now. And I will guide us through a meditation. Where there will be periods of silence. And some gentle guidance for more peace. And so I invite everyone to join me. And simply to enter this meditation, let us just allow ourselves to drop into the stillness that is already here. Not trying to be still, but to drop into the stillness that is already here. You can do this with your eyes open. When you meditate with your eyes open, it can induce more safety into your nervous system. But eyes closed is okay too. Whatever you are feeling is okay. It's welcomed. If there's tension, let it be there. If there are tears, let it be there. If there's sadness, let it be there. If there's fear, let it be there. Stillness is undisturbed by any of it. Each time you choose to be still, you are becoming a space through which more light enters this world. You can feel it right now, pouring through you, through your central channel, into this world. And maybe anchor more light in the name of global peace. If you have thoughts, that's okay. If your mind is racing, that's fine. Stillness is undisturbed by any of it. If you are worried about the state of the world, that's okay. Stillness is undisturbed by any of it. If you are fearful of the outcome of any conflict, that's okay. Stillness is undisturbed by any of it. If you are worried about the potential of a nuclear war, that's okay. Stillness is undisturbed by any of it. I am hereby declaring a 15-day period of peace. And so, for the next 15 days, I will come here on YouTube Live. I don't know which time exactly. Maybe I'll create a schedule, I'm not sure yet. But every day, in the name of peace, I will come here to guide our meditation. It will be live on YouTube. 15 days of peace. In the name of anchoring peace on this planet. You're welcome to join me each and every single day. Please share this with your loved ones and invite them to do this equally, or with everyone you know, because the more people we have joining us, the more peace will be anchored for the planet. And may the 15 days of peace bring us into the deepest safety. The world is yet to discover within it. My love and peace reign supreme in this world. I love you. Namaste.